This conference will now be recorded.
Today we will do some exercise and then commence with other functions. Okay. So here what all we are going to cover with the help of this database. First we are using data validation, then we are working on filtering, we are sorting, okay, pivot table, subtotal, and viewing the records. Okay, these things we will be trying out with the help of this database. Okay, so first we have to enter this database, but for the name column we are going to give data validation. In the name column I am supposed to select only these four names: Wilson, Lorenzo, Benedict, and Horswell. Only these four names only should be accepted for the name column. See, I have month here, account, and sales. But here what I am doing is I have not entered the name. So I want to give data validation. For name column, I want to give data validation. Select the range till here. Then you're going to data tab. You're going for data validation. Again, data validation. Here you have this dialog box. In the settings, you are clicking on this allow, select list. You would like to have only that four names. Okay, that is Wilson, then you have Lorenzo, Benedict, Hospital. Only these four names. Okay, then go for input message. In the input message, title is name. Input messages, select the name from the list. You have entered the list of names, only four names. Among that only you need to select the name. If user tries to input any other name or any other value, it has to display error message. So in the settings, in the list you have mentioned I would like to have only these four names. Okay, in the input message, title is name, and input messages, select the name from the list. Then you have error alert. Under error alert, if user tries to input something, style is stop. It has to restrict the user by stopping. Title is error. Error messages, invalid name. So under settings, list, in the list only these four names you would like to have. Okay, if user tries to input any other name, it has to display error message. Input message, in that title is name. Okay, here the heading is name. Okay, select the name from the list. In the list of names, whatever names you have entered, in your validation you have entered only four names. Among that only you can select. That same name can be repeated, but user cannot input any other name other than what is mentioned in the list. Error alert. Style is stop. Title is error. Error message is invalid name. Now I'll click on OK. So you will get this pop down. Okay. And this title is name. Select the name from the list. If you click here, you can select the name. So I want Wilson, Lorenzo, Benedict. Again, if you want Wilson, Horsworth. If you want the same thing, you can just drag it like this. But if user tries to input any other value, it will pop up the error message, invalid name. Or if you try to insert any other name, then also error message. Okay. If you come down, if you select here, it's not going to show you pop down because you had given the restriction only from A2 cell to A20th cell. Okay. So now you know how to give data validation for the name column. So this is my database. In this database, what all you are supposed to do is for the name column, you are going to give the data validation. This first part we have done with. Any doubts with this data validation? Please respond. Okay. Next, I want to first thing I have created the validation. Then you can insert the records. Third one is use data form to view the records belonging to Wilson. So use data form. Now data form is not present. If you want to see this information, if you want you can give background color, foreground, whatever you wanted, you can change here. Background color. It's like this. Now I want to see it in the form of form. So what I will do is, here you have this quick access toolbar. In this quick access toolbar, you have only frequently used command, that is save, undo and redo. If I want to include data form here in this quick access toolbar, I want to include one more tool, that is data form. You can click on this pop down. Okay, go for more commands. Click on that pop down, go to more commands. Here, quick access toolbar. Here you have popular commands. Default it is showing you popular commands. You go for all commands. you need to select all commands. There, just type the first letter D. Okay, it will show you names commencing with D. There you can select. You'll get data form. You'll get one option data form. If it is not coming, then you don't have that option here. It will be in the previous version. Okay, data form is not present. Okay, no, it is not present. Okay, so I cannot show you with this data form. We'll just skip that option. Next one is filter all records of Benedict and Hotsworth for the month of May. So what I'll do, I'll just copy the same information to this location so that I can see the original record, as well as my condition is I want to display Benedict and Hotsworth for the month of May. So you can go for this filter option under data, filter. Filter means I don't want to view all the records, only based on my condition records has to be displayed. So you can click on this pop down. In place of name, remove this select all. I want to see the details of Benedict and Hotsworth. Click on OK. And one more condition is I want to see the records only for the month of May. Only for the month of May. So if you want to remove that condition, click here, select all. Again click here, select all. So I'll just copy this to different sheet so that you are able to see the original record. So what you're doing is click on filter. In place of name, select Benedict and Horsworth. It is showing you the details of Benedict and Horsworth. Only these records are displayed. Again, if you want to filter, I want to see the details of only May month. You can click in place of month and remove the select all, select May. It will show you the details of only Benedict and Horsworth for the month of May. This is how you are going to filter. Filter means I don't want to view all the records. Only based on my criteria, records has to be displayed. Okay. I have original data here. Based on my condition, I am seeing the records in one more sheet. Okay. Or in the same sheet, you can paste it here. Here you can try it out below this. Okay. So we have completed with data validation, then filter, then pivot table. So pivot table, we will be discussing later. Now I'll just show you for this example. So pivot table, it's a powerful tool for data summarization analysis. Okay. So what I'm doing is now all the records are displayed column wise. Now I want to view my records month wise. Summary details I want to see, or salesman wise summary details I want to view. So what I'm doing here is this is my data. Select this database, go for insert, go for pivot table. I want this pivot table to appear in the same worksheet. So go for existing worksheet. Okay, the database what you have selected from A1 to D20. So it is showing you this database what you have selected in this range. Okay, for your pivot table, your data is present from A1 to D20th. This is my range of my database. For this database, I want to see the records based on my criteria. Okay. So location is, I'm selecting this cell in the I column. I'll click on OK. Now you can see pivot table fields are appearing. Okay. So in your database, whatever heading you have, those are my pivot table fields. Okay. Now what I wanted, I want to view month wise summary totals or salesman wise summary total. If I want to display salesman wise, salesman, I want to display it row wise. Salesman, I want to display it row wise. And sales, I'm placing it in place of value. Okay. So Salesman wise, I want to get the sales summary. Okay. So what I'm doing, default function, it is showing you sum. If you want to change this, you can click here, go to value field setting. You can change this to either count. Okay. If I change this to count, see, it will show you count of sales. If you want sum of sales, you can click here, go to value field setting, change this back to sum. I want salesman wise summary details. Okay, so you can display it here. About this pivot table, we will discuss in the coming session. For this example, I am just showing you the pivot table, how to prepare. Okay, any doubts you have in this? Any doubts? No doubts? Okay. So how to give data validation for name column, then how to filter the records, and how to get the summary report, either salesman wise or month wise. If you want to get month wise, I can go for this month. Month, if I want to display it column wise, I can go for column wise. If you don't want name wise, select this name column, drag it and place it back. I wanted month wise sales summary. Okay. Either you can display it column wise or row wise. If you don't want month wise, you can go for salesman wise. Salesman wise, you want to get the sum of sales. Okay. This you cannot do it for your normal data. You can do it with the help of this pivot table. So again, we'll come back to this pivot table in the upcoming classes. Okay. Next, I've told you about if condition in the last class. I've told you about logical function. So now we will check how to calculate DA, HRA, PF, how to find the gross pay and how to find the net pay. So here I have a database. My database includes serial number, name, grade, department, basic pay. Okay. So what other things you have to find out? Okay. So I have to calculate HRA. So how to calculate HRA? If the grade is A, HRA should be calculated 15% on your basic salary. If your grade is B, HRA should be calculated 15.5% on your basic salary. If the grade is C, HRA should be calculated 17% on your basic pay. If the grade is D, HRA should be 20% on your basic pay. So we'll try to calculate HRA. Then DA. DA is 15% on basic. You're not using if statement here. Only for this HRA calculation, you will be using if statement. Then PF will be 20% on basic pay. If you want to find the gross pay, that is sum of your basic salary and allowances. To find net pay, gross pay minus PF. Okay. Now we have to calculate HRA, DA, PF, gross pay and net pay. So HRA, DA, PF, gross pay and you have to find net pay. So HRA. So if grade is A, HRA is 15%. Always formula should commence with an equal sign. You are using if function, nested if. Okay. Open the bracket. My grade is present in C column second row. C column second row. If in C2 cell, if your grade is A, grade is typed in capital letter. When you are checking for the condition, then also you are supposed to type it in uppercase only. In capital letters only you should type A. If your grade is A, then HRA is 15% on basic. So basic is in which cell? E column second row. E column second row into 15%. Mention the percentage sign directly. If your grade is present in C column second row, if the grade is equal to A, then HRA will be basic into 15%. Okay. Put a comma. Again, if, open the bracket, if your grade, if it is equal to B, if grade is B, then HRA is 15.5% on basic. HRA is, that is on the basic. Basic is in E column second row into 15.5%. Again put a comma. Again open if statement. If your grade, if it is equal to C, put a comma, basic into, if it is C, 17%. It is 17%. Again, if, open the bracket, if your grade is equal to D, then HRA should be 20% on basic. E2 is my basic into 20%. Okay. Now how many if statement you have opened? You have 1, 2, 3 and 4. So 4 brackets should be closed in the end. Okay. So I'll just repeat once again. Always formula should commence with an equal sign. If your grade is A, then HRA is basic into 15%. Put a comma. If your grade is B, basic into 15.5%. Okay. If grade is C, HRA will be 17% on your basic salary. If grade is D, HRA will be 20% on your basic salary. Okay. Now if you press enter, if you just double click, it's going to calculate. Based on the grade, the amount will appear in each and every cell. See, if you go to the next cell, automatically the cell reference will change. It is showing you C4. Here it is C5, like this. If you check only for grade A, other things if you have not entered, it will show you false for all the cells. That is why you have entered everything in the first cell, okay, for all the grades. Then using fill hand, if you double click or drag it, formula is copied to rest of the cells. Any doubts in this? How to calculate DA? Sorry, HRA? Okay. Next, I want to find the gross pay. Gross pay is your sum of basic plus allowances. My allowances DA and HRA. So DA should be calculated 15% on your basic. PF is 20% on basic. First calculate DA is equal to my basic cell is present in E column second row into 15%. DA is calculated 15% on your basic. See, DA is calculated 15% on basic. So, your basic value is present in E column second row equals E2 into 15% will give you DA. Just double click, it's copied to rest of the cells. Now PF. PF is 20% on your basic pay. 20% on your basic pay equals E2 into 20%. Enter. Either you can drag it using fill hand or just double click when you get a plus sign. Now if you want to find the gross pay is basic plus your allowance. Your allowances, house rent allowance, that is HRA, and dearness allowance, that is DA. So equals sum of basic and your allowance. Okay. Either you can type E2 plus F2 plus G2. If not, you can use the function sum and mention the range from E2 cell to G2 cell. This is one method. If you double click, formula is copied to rest of the cells. If not, I can type it in this way also. Equals basic plus HRA plus DA. Then also you will get the same total. So it will show you E3 plus F3 plus G3 like this. If not, either you can mention the cell reference or you can use the function sum equals sum, open the bracket. You want to find the gross pay. Gross pay is basic pay plus allowances. Your allowances HRA and DA. Close the bracket, enter. Now go to that cell, either drag it or double click. Okay. Now next you have to find the net pay. Net pay is your gross pay minus PF. So always formula should commence with an equal sign. Gross pay is in I column second row. I column second row minus PF is present in H column second row. H column, second row. Enter. So gross pay minus PF. You'll get your net pay. Any doubts? Any doubts you have? Okay. Next, what I am doing here is using if you want, you can have decimal places. You can change the currency, as well as if you want to have decimal places, that also you can include. So if you want to have decimal places, you can increase the decimal. If you don't want, decrease the decimal. Or if you want to display it in currency, in dollar, if you want to display dollar. If you want rupees, then you can go for more accounting, go to currency, go to currency. Here, instead of dollar, you will be selecting rupees. Select rupees currency. Like this, you can change it. Okay. If you want to change for everything, you can change for everything. So you can click on this dollar sign, go for more accounting format. Here you go for accounting. Under accounting, you have symbol as dollar. You're changing this to rupees currency. Okay, like this. Next, using advanced filter, list out only those records which belongs to department purchase, production and accounts. So this is my data now. I'll select this data. If you want, you can change the font, whichever font you wanted. If you want, you can change the background, foreground color. You can apply the border. Okay. Now I want to display the details of only production. So this heading is DEPT and production is PRODN. This is in which format? In the same format you are supposed to type it here. I'll type DEPT. How you have typed the heading, it should be in the same format. And production, it was in uppercase. See, PRODN. First, you need to select the database. Your database commences from A column, first row, to J column, 16th row. Okay. This is my database which I have selected. Go to data tab, go for advanced filter. Under advanced filter, criteria range and copy to. Copy to option is not active. If you want this to be active, now it is inactive. You need to select copy to another location. If you select copy to another location, copy to this box will be active. Now, criteria ranges, I want to display the records of only production. So, criteria is A column, 19th and 20th row. Either I can select the range here or I can type the cell reference. Based on this criteria, I want the record to be displayed from A column 21st cell. Click on OK. Advanced filter advantages. I am able to see the entire record as well as based on my condition, only records of production is displayed here. So similarly, I want to see the details of accounts. If I want to see the details of accounts, again I'll type here DEPT. I'll type accounts. Now again, I'll select my database, select the database, go for data tab, advanced, copy to another location, criteria ranges, these two cells, that is department and accounts. Copy to, I want to display it from A column 30th row. See, original records you can see, based on my condition also, records are displayed in a new location. Any doubts? No doubts? Only one person is answering. Others are not attending the class, is it? Fine. So, I've shown you how to create, how to calculate HRA, DA, PF, gross pay, net pay, and how to format your value column and how to work on advanced filter. Okay. Next, we'll go on to one more assignment. So here I have employee ID, I have employee ID, I have sales, I have purchase value, I have sales value, purchase value, I have expenses. So I have four expenses. One is operating expenses, one is marketing expenses, employee expenses, other expenses. Now if I want to find the gross profit. So how do I find gross profit? What is the formula to find gross profit? Formula to find gross profit. What is the formula to find gross profit? If you are incorrect also, I can help you out. It's correct. Sales minus purchase. Okay, so sales minus purchase will give you the gross profit. Always formula should commence with an equal sign. Sales value is present in B column second row minus C column second row. So now you have got the gross profit. If your sales is less, if your purchase is more, then what it will show you? If your sales is less, if your purchase is more, what it is going to show you? It will show you negative value. Okay. See? Okay. Now total expenses. Total expenses. How do I calculate the total expenses? How do I calculate the total expenses? You can see here and then tell me. Where is my expenses column and how do I calculate? Sum of all expenses. I need the cell reference. Cell reference. So D2 to G2 is my expenses. But you should use the formula. Which formula you are going to use? Which is the formula you are going to use? Sum. Correct. So equals sum. Open the bracket. I want to get the total of only expenses. That is from D column second row to G column second row. Now using fill hand, you can drag it or you can double click. Now how do I find the net profit? Formula to find net profit. How do I find net profit? Gross profit minus total expenses. Correct. So equals gross profit minus your total expenses. It will give you the net profit. Any doubts in this? Okay. Okay. Next, we'll try to calculate this again related to payroll only. So basic pay, you have basic salary, DA 20% on your basic salary, HRA is 15% on your basic salary, PF is 12% on your basic salary. Total salary you're finding, that is basic salary plus your allowance, that is DA and HRA. So net salary is your total salary minus PF. See, you have employee ID, you have employee name, basic salary. Basic salary is given. So DA is 20% on your basic salary. Always formula should commence with an equal sign. Basic salary into 20%. It's going to give you the DA value. Just double click. Here only I have mentioned so that you will come to know what is the percentage you are calculating on your basic salary. So again HRA is 15% on your basic salary equals basic is in C column second row into 15%. Enter. So you can just double click. Formula is copied. Again click on this cell. PF is 12% on your basic equals basic into 12%. So using fill hand, you can drag it. Formula is copied to rest of the cells. Now if I want to find the total salary is your basic plus your allowance, that is DA and HRA, equals, you are using the function sum of C2 to E2, sum of C2 to E2, close the bracket, enter. And now using fill hand you can drag it or you can double click. To find the net pay, that is your total salary minus your PF, will give you the net salary. So equals, total salary is present in G column second row minus your PF. Okay, like this. So later on you can change the formatting. Select it. You can change the background color, foreground color. Okay. Any doubts you have? No doubts. There should be some interactive, right? Only 2 peoples out of 73 are attending. Huh? Hardly. Only 5 members. Then I should give attendance only for 5 to 6 members. Okay. So in the last class, I had told you about trace president, trace dependents. I told you I'll be telling you about name manager. Now see here, I have name, subject 1, subject 2, total, average. So you're typing the values here. So if I want to find the total, you can use equal sign, function name is sum, open the bracket, your value commences from B2 cell to C2 cell. So B2 to C2. Enter, you are getting this total value. If you double click or if you drag it, formula is copied. But the cell reference, it is changing for every cell. Each and every cell reference is changed. Similarly, if I want to find the average, equals, average is my function name. So to find the average, it is the same cell reference again, B2 to C2. Using fill hand, if you drag it, formula is copied to rest of the cells. Now cell reference is changing for every cell. I don't want my cell reference to change for each and every cell. So what I can do is, I'll just delete this, whatever sum and average I have found out. I don't want my formula to change for each and every cell. Select this, select this database, go for this formula, go for this create from selection. Click on create from selection. You have the heading. Where you have the heading? In the row or in the column. Where you have the heading? Where you have the heading? In this database. You have the heading in the row or in the column. You have the heading in the top row. Okay. So in the left column, I don't have any heading. I'll remove this option. Left column. I'll click on OK. Now you be in this cell. Okay. You can go for this use in formula. So it will show you whatever heading was present in your top row. It will show you here. To find the total, you are going to add subject 1 plus subject 2. You select subject 1, include plus sign. Again use in formula, select subject 2. Now enter. Now see, if you go for any cell, your formula is not changed. Okay, formula remains same. That is subject 1 plus subject 2. If I want to find the average, again go to use in formula. To find the average, that is total divided by number of subject. I have two subjects here. So total is my heading divided by 2 will give you the average. See, cell reference, it remains same. Cell reference will not change for each and every cell. Is that clear? Any doubts? So whoever is answering, I should give the attendance only for them.
আমি তোকে দেখছিলাম আমি এই যে খাওয়া করছি।
Okay. I'm marking the attendance now. So if condition already I've told you. Next we'll go on to if S. So if S condition in Excel, it's again a logical function that evaluates multiple condition in a more readable and compact way. Okay. It checks condition one by one and returns the corresponding result for the first condition that is true. So if has function also you can use it for multiple conditions. Okay. So I have one example here. I have one database here which is having name, salary. I have to find out whether here you have salary comparison. In C column first row, I have entered 50,000. Okay, I have name and salary using if statement. I'm just checking. Okay, using if statement, IFS condition, I'm checking it out whether in B3 cell, whether this cell value is equal to 50,000. If it is equal to 50,000, whatever salary you're getting, that 50,000 and the 60,000, if it is same, it has to show you the message as same. If my salary comparison value and the salary value, if it differs, if it is higher, then it has to show me higher. If the salary value and the comparison value, if it is lower than the comparison value, then it has to show me the message as lower. Okay, so how do I check it out? Okay, you are using the condition IFS. If your salary value, if it is greater than your salary comparison value, it has to show me higher. My salary is higher than this comparison value. If my salary value, if it is lower than the salary comparison value, it has to show me lower. If my salary value, if it is equal to the salary comparison value, then it has to show you the message as same. Okay, so we'll just check it out. Equals IFS, open the bracket. If my salary value, if it is greater than my salary comparison value, so this you should make it constant. So how to make it constant? You have to press function key F4 to make it constant. Function key F4. If you press, see, you will get dollar sign. Okay, that value will be constant. Again, put a comma. What message it has to display? If my salary value is greater than the salary comparison value, then it has to show you higher. Again, one more condition. What you're doing is, if my salary value, if my basic salary, if the salary value, if it is higher than the salary comparison value, for the C1 cell, you should make it constant by pressing function key F4. You will get the dollar sign. That is absolute addressing. Again, display the message as higher. Put a comma. Again, open the bracket. If my salary value, if it is less than salary comparison value, again here also you should make it as constant by pressing function key F4. Then put a comma. Message, it has to show me as lower. Comma. Again, open the bracket. If my basic salary, if it is equal to my comparison value, here again press function key F4 to make it as absolute reference. This value should not change. Okay, it should remain same. Then put a comma, display it as same. Now close the bracket, three brackets. Sorry, only one bracket, equals, if s, open the bracket, if the salary value, if it is greater than my comparison value, higher, comma, if my basic salary, if it is less than this comparison value, again, if this value, if it is equal to the comparison value, display the message as same, close one bracket. So in the previous nested if, you were using if statement so many times. Now since I'm using ifs function, I need not type if everywhere. Here I need not again use ifs here, ifs, or if I need not use here. See, now it is showing you higher. See, 60,000 is greater than your salary comparison value. So it is showing you higher. So here the salary value is 55. It is more than the comparison value. So it is showing you higher. So salary value is also 50. Comparison value is also 50. So it will show you the message as same. So here salary value is 35, but my comparison value is 50. So it is less. So it will show you lower. Here also lower. So here it is same. Here it is higher. So in the previous formula, in the previous example what I showed you, you were using if statement, right? For comparing your HRA. In this case, we had used several times if statement. See here, how many times if I have used? 4 times I have used for checking whether grade is A, grade is B, grade is C, grade is D. So to avoid this multiple if statement, I will be using this ifs function, wherein only one time you can type and multiple conditions can be given. Any doubts you have in this? You got the difference between if and ifs? Okay. Next you have sum fs. Have I told you about sum fs in the last class? Sum fs, have I told you? Yes or no? So I've told you about sum if s. All the three. Okay. Next, I have count if s function. So count if s function is used to count the number of cells that meet multiple criteria. Okay, you can give more than one criteria. So syntax for count if function is you have criteria range 1, then criteria. Again criteria range 2, criteria. Like this. Okay. You can have multiple condition when you go for count if s. So equals count if s, open the bracket. My criteria is I want to know the count. Okay, count of this cost in the year 2013. So I want to know the count of year. Okay, how many 2013 records are present in this database? So how many times it is present? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Similarly, if I want to know the count of oranges, equals count if s, open the bracket. My criteria is product product range, that is B2 to B9, and my condition is oranges. Again, if you want to give one more condition, that is from in the which year? In the year 2013. Okay. Select the range. This is my second criteria. In that, I am mentioning the year, that is 2013. So it's going to give you the count of product, that is orange, only for the year 2013. So in 2013, you have 2013 4 records. In that, only the count of oranges. So 1, 2, only 2 records. So it's going to give you the count as 2. Any doubts in this? Any doubts in this countifs function? Okay. So similarly, I can check for three conditions. Equals, count if s, open the bracket. I'm checking for the cost. So cost should be greater than 10.5. Again, one more condition is product. Product is oranges. Again, year. Year is greater than 2012. Then it will show you the count as 2. I can give multiple conditions when I go for this count if s function. So today we have discussed about what are the functions we have discussed. Huh? So we have worked out with some formulas. Okay, we have worked out with some formulas and I have told you about count if s function. Then are you people there? Are you able to understand? Am I fast? Okay. Okay. So today we will end the session. We'll continue in the next session. Thank you.